Hello and welcome to Tomorrow's Young Business Leader. This is our first lecture. Our topic for today is leadership essentials. In this lecture, we are going to learn about leadership definition. We're going to look through at goal setting, purpose of goal setting. We're also going to look at types of goals, how to create good and meaningful goals. Then we're going to proceed with leadership skills. And lastly, we're going to look at 7 characteristics of bad leaders. We're going to start here. We start this topic by looking at the leadership definitions highlighted here. So if you look at the definition below there, leadership is actually an ability of a person to influence others to accomplish common goals in organization. Since this is actually an ability, it can be learned, it can be enhanced. And again, what is the purpose? To influence others to achieve common goals. Let's look at goals. What is a goal? In business, goals are performance target, the way in which organizations and their managers measure success or failure at every level. It's an objective that a business hopes and plans to achieve. It's important actually to have clear goals on what you want to achieve. If your business doesn't have a clear goal, the business will end up doing everything everywhere. It will be messy. It will be messy for the managers, for the business owners, for the leaders, and also for the employees. Nobody is clear about what they really want to achieve. It is going to be very frustrating. A good leader can set up clear goals to their employees and communicate this clearly. When this is done, then only they can influence or motivate others. Likewise, you are the leader of your own life. You are the leader of your own body. So you also need to have clear goal on what you want to achieve. Let's go a little bit deeper on goals. This is going to be very beneficial for us. So we have to spend some time understanding about goals. Apart from some of the reasons why leaders like you need to set up goals for the teams, there are also other purposes of goal setting. In this slide, we look at the purposes of goal setting for business leaders. You see, a company functions systematically when it sets goals and plans accordingly. A company will commit all of its resources to achieve their goals. Let's be more specific and see point number 1. The first purpose of goal setting is to provide direction and guidance for managers and employees at all levels. If leaders, they know precisely where the company is headed, there is less potential in error for the whole company. Second purpose of goal setting is to help firms to allocate resources. Let's take an example and say that our goal this year is to grow our market. Okay, again, our goal this year is to grow our market. Then areas that are expected to grow will get first priority. The company will normally allocate more resources to new projects with larger sales potential. Because remember, our goal is to grow the market. This will ensure that all the resources spent is worth it and we can achieve this year's target goal of expansion. Remember, even the largest company in the world has limited resources. Hence, allocation of resources is important so that it is not wasted. The third purpose, okay, this one second is now. The third purpose of goal setting is to help define corporate culture. Sometimes we call them as company's culture. Corporate culture is how things are done in the organization. If our goal is to minimize costs and to reduce wastage, when we communicate this to our team, then the whole team will start to find ways to cut down wastage and to make their work more efficient. So they might even go to the extent of starting an initiative of zero printing. All or most of the work will be online. This is the new culture in our organization. And why it all started? It all started because our goal this year is to minimize costs and reduce wastage. Lastly, goal setting helps leaders or managers to assess performance. If our team have decided to achieve an increase of, let's say, 10% sales compared to last year, then whoever that managed to achieve that can be rewarded fairly. If you work in a call center and your manager has set up your goal, which is to answer 40 calls per day, at the end of the day, it's easy for the managers to identify whether you have achieved the goal or not. If you have not, then the manager can see what can be done further to assist you to achieve the intended goals. Generally, we can classify goal into 3 types, which is normally based on years. The first type is the long-term goal here. This is the goal that we want to achieve in 5 years and more. In a business setting, this type of goals are normally set up by the business owner or maybe the top management like CEO, CFO, or CMO. The second type of goal is the intermediate goal. This is the type of goal that we normally set to achieve from 1 year to 5 years. Okay. Lastly, there is also a short-term goal, this one. So this is the goal that we want to achieve from 1 week up to 1 year. In a business setting, a company will have all the goals at once. They will have long-term goal, they will have intermediate goal, they will have short-term goal. You yourself need to ensure that you have think about your own long-term goal, intermediate goal, and short-term goal. Take some time out, think about your own goal. You deserve it because you deserve to try and figure out your own goal in life first. Remember, goals do change sometimes. So be prepared to change your goal if and when the situation need you to do so. Goals are part of every aspect in your business and also in your life. And the goal, they provide you a sense of directions. They provide you motivations. They give you clear focus. And they also show importance. So by setting goals for yourself, you are actually providing yourself with a target to aim for. A SMART goal is used to help guide goal setting. So how do we create a good goal for our business or even our life? Right? Here's how we follow the SMART technique. SMART stands for S, which is specific. We have M, which is measurable. A, attainable. R stands for relevant. T for timely. Let's take a look at each of these definition further. When we talk about specific goal, S stands for specific. Specific here means that you need a goal that is well defined. You need a clear goal. The goal must not be ambiguous. It must be unambiguous. Goals that are specific have actually a significantly greater chance of being accomplished. When we look at M here, measurable, a SMART goal must have a criteria for you to measure your progress. If there is no criteria, you will not be able to determine your progress and you will not be on track to reach your goal. Next is A, stands for attainable. In attainable, you must make sure that the goal is not impossible to achieve. This will help you to figure out your ways and you can realize your goals and work towards it. If you have a goal that you know you can achieve, even when things are a little bit challenging, you will still work hard to achieve it. Next is relevant or realistic. So your goals need to be within reach. It must be realistic. It must also be relevant to your life purpose. Lastly, T, timely or time-based. So with a clear defined timeline, which include a starting date and a target date, right? You need to have that. The purpose is actually to create urgency and motivation. You notice how people are more motivated when we are near the deadline. So if we have to submit, for example, we have to submit something tomorrow, then we can even work late at night because there is a deadline. That's why having a clear time is important. The duty of creating goals actually falls under the leaders itself. Normally, you will start creating your own goal first. Later, when you are in business or lead some organization, you will have to create goals not only for the business. You have to create goals for your department, you have to create goals for your employees and yourself. So creating a good goal is actually a skill in itself. Always remember, when you need to create a goal, you must follow this SMART method. Okay? Just a quick important note, we are going to discuss about goal as part of our life activity tomorrow. The next part that we're going to discuss today is actually about leadership skills. Good leaders need to have some certain skills. Having these skills will give them some advantages compared to others. You see, some people, they are actually born with better skill compared to other people. However, bear in mind that these are all skills. When it comes to skills, skills can be learned and skill can be enhanced. People normally, we develop all these skills through education, we develop skills through experiences and also by observation. Okay. The first skill that we're going to discuss today is technical skills. The skills needed to perform certain specialized tasks are called technical skills. A programmer's ability to write code, an animator's ability to draw, an accountant's ability to audit a company's record are all examples of technical skills. If you are going to lead a software company, you need to be able to do some codings. If you are going to lead an accounting company, you need to be able to perform accounting processes and audit. If you are going to lead a workshop, you should know how to check and operate automobiles. So these skills is important, as you can then assist and mentor your team. When you have sufficient skill, it also makes harder for people to lie to you. Effective leaders, the next one, we're going to look at number 2, which is human relation skills. Effective leaders also generally have good human relation skills. So these skills will enable the leaders to understand and get along with other people. A manager with poor human relation skills may have trouble getting along with their own subordinates. They can also cause valuable employees to quit or transfer, and also contribute to low morale. Next is conceptual skill. Conceptual skill refer to a person's ability to think in the abstract, to diagnose and analyze different situations, and to see beyond the present situation. Conceptual skills help leaders recognize opportunities and threats. They can also help leaders to analyze all the possible outcomes of their decisions. Lastly, we're going to look at decision-making skill. This skill includes the ability to effectively define a problem and then to select the best course of actions. These skills would also involve gathering facts, identifying possible solutions, evaluating alternatives, and actually implementing the solution chosen. These skills allow some leaders to identify the effective strategy for the firms. I need to point out, although today we list only 4 skills, in reality, there are more skills that a good leader needs to have. It also includes time management skills, technological skills, global management skills, and some other skills. But today we learn only 4. Okay. Guys, this is our lecture code. Please make sure that you fill in all the details inside our times and put the lecture code inside. Thank you. We're going to proceed with the next part, yeah? The next part we're going to discuss today is actually the characteristics of bad leaders. Remember, I just need to highlight quickly that since we have time limitations, we can't cover everything about leadership. So we look at important parts, and this is one of the important parts. While there are good leaders, there's plenty of bad leaders as well. If you want to be a good leader, you have to know and avoid these things that I'm going to discuss after this. And these things makes you a bad leader, so avoid them. Researchers have shown that these 7 characteristics are the characteristic of a bad leader as deemed by their employees. So let's take a look at the first one. I'm gonna highlight this here. The first one characteristic of a bad leader is the lack of flexibility. When a leader lacks of flexibility, this is a poor leader who really believes that his one style of leadership is the best. This type of leader is very hard to bargain with, and for him, this is my company, it's my way or there's no other way. This kind of leader will give a hard time to his employees. He failed to realize that different situations will require different ways in dealing with it. He failed to realize that their different employees are motivated differently. And worse, he failed to realize that the world changes on a daily basis. This is why he will be seen as a bad leader. He is way too rigid. The second characteristic of a bad leader is too self-centered. A bad leader that is too self-centered always put himself first when it comes to getting the benefit. It's not possible to inspire others if you always take the credit when things go well. When things go wrong, he will blame others first and then he will blame himself last, or even he won't blame himself at all. So this can be very stressful for employees. Give credit to your own staff when things go well. When things doesn't go well, propose effective solutions. Playing a blame game will not going to get you far. The third characteristic of a bad leader is unable to empathize. Unable to empathize. There are few worse qualities of a bad leader than a person who really shows a complete lack of understanding. So this kind of leader, they have complete lack of understanding about the challenges and problems faced by his or her own team. So the ability to empathize with others and see things from their perspective goes a long way towards making you as a leader who cares. Number four is not forward thinking. A bad leader easily settles into a comfort zone and never wants to leave it. They are easily satisfied and they don't want to move forward. When this happens, the company doesn't change and they are not prepared when situations change. Think ahead. Prepare for the future. Brainstorm ideas with your team members. This will help to grow your business. It will help to grow yourself and it also will help to grow your members. Number 5 is lack of enthusiasm. Showing enthusiasm for your role as a leader is non-negotiable. The attitude shown by employees, normally they tend to mirror the attitude of their leaders. And the employees normally always look at their leaders as a source of inspiration and motivation. Poor leaders, they show lack of positive energy and passion for their role. They easily grumble, they are easily irritated, and they show a lot of negativity when handling a situation. Don't do this. People will run away when meeting with a person who is too negative. I repeat again, people will run away when meeting a person who is too negative. Number 6, characteristic of a bad leader doesn't show trust. Trust is super duper important when handling a team. A bad leader who constantly watch over their employees' mistake will only demotivate and stress their employees. You gotta tell them that you trust them. For example, I'm giving you this task because I truly believe in you. I know you can do this. You see, it feels really good to get such recognition from your own leader. The last part is actually poor communicator. The ability to communicate effectively with others is very important. If a leader cannot communicate her ideas and plans to their employees in a clear and concise way, then he or she is destined to fail in that role. So you need to be able to communicate clearly about your plan, also your ideas to your employee. And leadership is about direction. Leadership is about guidance and support. All of these things require the ability to communicate well. An example of poor communication includes not providing feedback to your employees, or maybe being very vague or not clear with any feedback that is provided. Bad leaders, they always tell people there is something wrong without providing specific information or pointers. If you just tell people something wrong and you are not specific about it, you will just leave your employees or your team confused and it wastes everybody's time. A leader that shows strong characteristic of these qualities will normally be viewed as a poor or bad leader. They can easily be identified as a bossy, as we call them as bossy, and they will lose a lot of their good members. So how do you want to be a good leader? For a start, you avoid all of these things. You can be exact opposite of them. That is one of the ways to be a good leader. Okay guys, that's it for today. Like I mentioned, we have a quick short lecture. I would see you tomorrow for our live session. Thank you. Have a good day everyone.